So first things first, given the nature of this video, I know that it will likely be flagged and demonetized. So I would just like to say that I'm going to be talking about everyday drugs such as caffeine and alcohol and the effects that they have on sleeping and dreaming. I won't be talking about any illicit drug use, so there should be no reason why this video is a problem. And just remember, YouTube, Logan Paul filmed a dead body and you made that video trending. So with that being said, let's begin. Let's start off with caffeine, as this is a drug that I'm sure the majority of people watching consume to some degree, whether this is through fizzy drinks, tea, coffee, energy drinks, or even some diet supplements. Caffeine is a stimulant that helps to promote alertness and better mental and cognitive functions, which a lot of us rely on to get through the day. However, caffeine can stay in the system for up to 14 hours, which means even if you were drinking it early on in the day, it might still be affecting you when trying to fall asleep on a night. And remember, if you aren't getting a good enough sleep, this will inevitably have an impact on your ability to dream. On the other hand, because it is a stimulant, in small doses it could actually help with lucid dreaming, as it will help you to be more alert and more aware. And as I've said many times before, awareness for me is the most fundamental aspect when it comes to lucid dreaming. Most lucid dreaming supplements typically use stimulants or ingredients that help to promote awareness and cognitive functions, such as choline, galantamine, huperzine A, to name a few. If you are someone who prefers to use wake-initiated lucid dreaming, you could always experiment with using a little bit of caffeine alongside a method such as wake back to bed and see what effect it has. Another substance I'm sure a lot of you use is alcohol. Now, alcohol isn't going to help much at all with either sleeping or dreaming. For some people, myself included, alcohol can make you feel pretty sleepy, and although it may seem like it's helping you fall asleep quicker, the quality of sleep is usually pretty light and there isn't as much deep sleep. Not only that, but as it can make you feel quite groggy, it isn't going to help much at all with dream recall or the level of awareness that you experience in your dream. If you are a frequent drinker, this is likely going to be a big obstacle when it comes to lucid dreaming. Now obviously the odd drink every now and again isn't going to be a problem at all, but if you think your habit is having a negative impact on your sleep and your ability to dream, then it might be worth taking a look at that and seeing if there's anything that you could potentially change. So this is a question that I often see posted online: will weed have an effect on my ability to lucid dream? And the simple answer is yes. Weed, or to be more precise, the THC in weed, promotes longer periods of deep sleep. This means your REM cycles are shorter, which means less time for dreaming. This might be why you find yourself struggling with lucid dreaming if you are a cannabis smoker. However, there is a positive here. When people stop smoking weed, they typically experience what is known as REM rebound, where the length, frequency and depth of REM periods are greatly increased to make up for the lack of REM sleep in previous nights. Because of this, people often report having far more intense and vivid dreams once they've stopped, and of course this can help greatly with lucid dreaming. So perhaps taking a break from smoking cannabis might give you a boost in your dream practice. Now, there are different strains of marijuana and different doses of THC. In all honesty, I don't know if the method of which you use cannabis will have a different effect. So for example, I don't know if smoking it versus using it in an edible will be any different. I've only ever had experiences with edibles, I've never smoked it, but I do recall from that period when I was using it in an edible that my dreaming wasn't so good, but at the same time there could have been other factors at play. If you're interested in learning more about this or learning about other drugs such as psychedelics and lucid dreaming, then I would suggest that you go and watch some of Spacetime Badass's videos, as he has a lot more experience in this area than me and will likely be more help. So now we move on to nicotine. What effect does nicotine have on sleep and dreaming? Well, nicotine, much like caffeine, works as a stimulant, so once again, this isn't going to help a great deal when falling asleep. There are studies that suggest smokers wake up more frequently throughout the night and typically don't have a great quality of sleep. Again, bad sleep will likely have a negative impact on dreaming and lucid dreaming. However, much like caffeine, because of its stimulant effects, it can be used to your advantage. Interestingly, some people have used nicotine patches as a lucid dreaming supplement. This seems to work quite well with the wake back to bed method, as you can wake up during the night, slap on a patch and go back to bed with the intention of getting lucid. All in all though, I wouldn't recommend employing this as a lucid dreaming induction method, especially if you don't actually smoke or use nicotine or tobacco in day-to-day life. There are much more effective and healthier ways of having lucid dreams. One thing that people probably don't think about when it comes to dreaming are the effects of prescription medications, such as antidepressants, antipsychotics and so on. If you are someone who takes medication for mental health reasons, you will be more than aware of the vast list of potential side effects that come with those medications. Now, usually the majority of those side effects are extremely rare, with things such as changes in weight, changes in appetite, headaches, stomach problems and decreased sex drive being the more common side effects. But sometimes these medications can cause problems with sleep. On the other hand, sometimes these medications have unusual or vivid dreams listed as a potential side effect. When I first started taking quetiapine, which is an antipsychotic, I did find for a little while that my dreams were quite strange and they were quite vivid, which did help me to become lucid. However, over time those effects did die down, and because quetiapine is a sedative, I then found that I could rarely recall dreams from early on in the night. It was usually maybe after 6 or 7 hours of sleep that I could finally start remembering my dreams, which wasn't so good really, especially as a lucid dreamer. So bear in mind, if you are taking any medication and you find you're having issues with sleep or with dreaming, that it might be worth looking more into that. Now obviously, don't stop taking any medication that you should be taking, but if it's something that's having a big impact, it would be worth just going back to your doctor and talking about that. And also, don't start taking medication that you're not supposed to take in the hopes of having more vivid dreams. That obviously isn't good at all. Now, I did make a video for Team Lucid Dream about testosterone and the effects of taking testosterone and how that had an impact on my dreaming. So I'm not going to go into detail about that here, but I will link that video for people who maybe want to check that out. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you would like to, you can support me on Patreon, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. As well as that, there is a link in the description which will give you 20% off on Vivid Dream products. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Max, aka the Rara Rabbit. I'll see you in the next video.